Hello everyone, Frog here. Today's game, Hands of Necromancy. I got this for less than $1 on Good Old Games, and I feel really bad about it because it's worth way more than that and actually really good. It's ridiculous how good some of these sales are, actually. And yeah, this is another first-person shooter I'm reviewing. I like them, what can I say? One day I'll get to other genres because there are lots of games that I like, but whatever. We'll talk about games later. Gotta get focused, and that is actually today's topic. Focus. It's simple, actually, despite what a lot of the world wants you to think. Focus is actually really easy to define if you think about your personal experiences. Have you ever been in a flow state? Maybe you're playing a game, doing work, watching porn. I don't know, I don't really care what you do, but you've probably had an experience in your life where you felt like things were effortless, or you were almost unthinking in your state and things just came together when doing whatever it was you were doing, and everything else melted away. That's focus. It's a state where your brain is single-minded and completely into something. It's also the place where you feel at your best in general. You're not thinking about anything except what's in front of you. I mean, whatever you want to believe, everyone wants to be in this state in some shape or form. It's why people get super into their hobbies, exercise routines, work routines, etc. There's a momentum to it all where you're doing things without really stopping to think about why, and it's because you already know why you're doing it. It's kind of the ultimate expression of human productivity and effort. Think about it. You're at 100% when you're focusing on something. Your entire mental state is locked in and being used for this one particular activity. But how do we get to it? Tell me, Frog, you amphibian piece of shit, or I'll click off this video and tell your friends you're a scammer. Okay, fine. Like I said, it's really simple, and this channel is all about being practical about this kind of stuff. Focusing requires 3 things, depending on where you're at. Removing distractions, setting your tasks, and momentum. But first, we're going to talk about distraction, because that's the easy one and the elephant in the room. Funnily enough, there's a baby crying as I'm writing this in a quiet park, so it's perfectly timed. The universe is weird, and by writing this, I mean at the time I was writing this, which was a couple of hours before this recording, so it's technically not a correct term, but fuck it, whatever. Anyway, remove distractions. You're going to have to get rid of your phone, not throw it in a pond or anything, but just turn it onto airplane mode or put it into a different room. Actually, yeah, put it somewhere away from you so it doesn't light up and let Google sell you shit. I hate those fucking notifications. The point of this is to make distractions hard to get to you. Imagine your phone is an annoying person and they keep trying to talk to you. When you lock them in a basement and put headphones on, you can't hear or see them. Do this with your phone, gadgets, etc. It's an environmental thing. You need to have things set up in a way where it's easier for you to do whatever you're doing. If you're using a PC, turn off your internet connection and browsers. Set Windows Focus Mode. By the way, I've never used this, so don't ask me how it works. Turn it on. Do whatever you have to do, etc. I'd also recommend never listening to music while working that has lyrics. I love music and listen to it when I'm painting, actually, but I only ever listen to instrumentals. That has a rhythm to it that kind of gets me into a cool flow state when I'm doing something, but lyrics has me sitting there pondering the deep meaning of Taylor Swift, and that's a joke. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I'm more of a Dream Theater kind of guy. So basically mitigate your distractions. This may be hard to do if you have kids, but you can figure out some scheduling or time to focus in. Next is setting tasks. Again, I talked about this kind of thing in my Anxiety is Simple video, actually. Write down what you're going to do for the day, and I'd recommend putting it into an order, too. Think of it like a lesson plan or a quest line for the day. Gamify your tasks and make it like a video game. It keeps you present, keeps your mind off of focusing on things that don't exist, aka the future, the shower arguments in your head, past regrets, and so on. And it also gets you into the third one, which is where the real flow actually happens, which is momentum. You want momentum. This is the part that works for everyone, but at different gradients. What does that mean? Some people can't start their day doing a big task. Maybe you're depressed, or in a bad place, or whatever. If you're in that mental state, setting the task to be, say, 45 minutes of exercise is a goddamn nightmare. Have you ever tried to do much of anything for 45 minutes except lie down and stare at a wall when you're down and out? You can't do it. Your brain is telling you to go fuck yourself. This isn't how you sort the problem out. Make writing out the tasks the actual goal. This takes 5 minutes and small amounts of calories. It's pretty meta, but bear with me here. You write the tasks out successfully and you feel pretty good about that, which is a small victory. You then optimize your tasks in a way that starts from, say, easy to ultra nightmare difficulty mode. Another small victory. You then try to do the easiest task, albeit slowly. If you get it done, another victory. Do you notice the momentum? It's like revving up a car. A beaten up car needs a few kickstarts before it really gets going. That's your brain too. You need to feed it small victories that optimize calorie usage. It feels good about the small victories and starts to build confidence in its ability to do more. This is how you scale and you get into a flow state. Put the phone away, or use it as your means to write out tasks. That's what I do. Remove distractions as much as possible, get your tasks going, and do them in order of easiest to most difficult. Once you start doing this, you will eventually notice it. The flow, the focus. That's how you get to focus. Again, it's case by case. My day usually starts with my breakfast, a walk, shower, and then exercise. That might be way too much for some people, for others it's barely anything. But you can scale it to your level and you'll probably notice that it makes you feel really good. Feeling good really is just being in the present. I enjoyed writing this actually because the baby drowned. And by that I mean the noise of the baby, not that the baby actually drowned. Whatever that's staying in the script, who cares? Summary. Remove distractions as much as you can. Throw your phone into a different room, quiet down your environment. Make it a nice place for you to do whatever it is you need to do. Number 2, know your tasks. You can't focus on things when you don't know what to do for the day. Write them down, order them from easiest to do to the hardest, and then get ready. Number 3, execute and build momentum. Oh, and make sure you're not beating yourself up if you actually fail to do some stuff. It's fine if some things just don't work out sometimes. Restart the mission the next day and then try again. You can learn a lot from video games actually. Games hook you with their objectives and structure. That's why they're so addictive and people get into them. Make your life kind of like a game. It's a quest line that you're working to complete, and the reward is a flow state and probably a nice life. Anyway, let's get on to the Hands of Necromancy review. Basically, if you like Metroidvania-style games and FPS, buy this game. It is fan-fucking-tastic. Hands of Necromancy is a game running on the GZ Doom engine, which is basically a spiffed-up version of the original Doom engine from 1992. That's why its graphics are a bit old-school and somewhat pixelated. That said, it's charming as hell and has a consistent art style throughout, which is something that makes me very happy when a game does that. Monsters are well designed and easily identifiable, levels are very well lit, moody, and have amazing maze-like layouts that have a consistent aesthetic throughout, and the general vibe of the game is 80s cheesy dark fantasy that makes me very happy. The gameplay is basically like Doom and Hexen from ages back, where you enter levels, kill a bunch of monsters, find keys and secrets, and repeat. The game has 3 hub worlds that have portals for their respective levels. You have to find the keys in each level, which then unlock the final level of that hub world, and eventually get you to a boss fight. All the levels I've played through have all been really good. I'm particularly a huge fan of the second hub world maps. From weird ice castles to churches in the middle of hell, littered with enemies that you have to blast to pieces. It's all really fun to play through, and the secrets are really well hidden. The Metroidy aspect of the game comes in the form of maps being interconnected and wrapping around itself. I know a lot of the newer generation of people will just say that's a Dark Souls thing, but that's actually a Metroid thing and a Castlevania thing. You explore a map for a very long time and eventually find and unlock a shortcut that leads back to the entrance or an earlier part of the game. It is so satisfying when you find these. This game is really good, and you can probably tell I really like it a lot. Weapons are also great. You start off with a fire staff which has a primary and alternative fire, primary being a single shot and secondary being a pretty inaccurate scatter shot. It does the job fine, but eventually you get to the real good stuff, like a tornado spell which can blast enemies away and stun lock them into oblivion by smashing them against a wall, an ice spell that freezes and shatters enemies' bodies, an unholy grenade that you can bounce around and blow groups of enemies up with, and later on even a shotgun. They included a fucking shotgun, which is kind of surprising because this game is mostly just magic, but then you get a gun. And it seems to be the case that in every single game where you end up getting just a gun, the gun solves all the problems, because the shotgun is really, really good. It also has like a sniping alternative fire, which is awesome. Oh yeah, and I have to talk about the spells. You can shapeshift in this game and it adds a whole lot to the maps. Shapeshifting gives you new abilities like swimming through tiny cracks as a serpent and firing poison gas, alongside unlimited breathing time underwater. I don't think it's actually mentioned in the description there, but the golem can also smash through walls and chuck rocks at groups of enemies, and when you chuck the rocks, these giant stalactites start flying down from the top of the sky. I don't know where it appears, it just manifests. And then it ends up just crushing everything in its way. And then later on in the game, you actually get a fire demon thing that, I can't remember the bloody name of it, but I'll just call it a fire demon thing. The fire demon thing is immune to lava, which lets you walk on lava freely and fire flaming shots at enemies. One small complaint is that cycling through spells can be a bit difficult because of the game's bindings, but after rebinding that to my personal liking, it just turns out fine. There's a lot to this game. The music is great, the combat is fun, spells are cool, and levels rock. Like, you can see why I feel bad about getting this for less than $1. I'm really into it, and I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I think after finishing it up, I'm gonna go straight to the second game. I really recommend it. It runs on pretty much any PC imaginable at this point, and it's just a boatload of fun. Given the usual price is under about $10, you're getting something that absolutely shits on everything AAA these days. I recommend buying on GOG, because GOG, or Good Old Games, is completely DRM free, and who knows, there might be another sale in the future. They often actually do have sales, so I just recommend buying from there. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your day.